Okay, let's obviously start with the album,
Yeah.
a brand new album. You brought back some hip hop pioneers, some old people you work with, etc. What was the mind frame when making this one?
Man, just to do something different, you know, to push myself with it, you know. That's why I call it Orchestrated Noise, just trying to take it to the next level. And, you know, it's a conceptual extension of Symphony in Effect. So, you know, I just want to take it to the next level, just deeper into being a maestro. What would a maestro do? He takes sounds from different styles and put it together and make something. That's what Orchestrated Noise is all about.
I feel like you've taken creative control over the music recently, just because of stuff you've learned from your career.
Yeah.
Why was that so important when making this album?
Because I haven't put out an album in 13 years, man. And it's like the game has changed. I'm from the era of the physical, we're now in the era of the digital. It's a whole different dynamic right now, a whole different world. And I just want to show people that the word might still rhyme with nice, you know?
The Canadian hip hop scene has gone global. And it has,
Yeah.
and we saw glimpses of it from when you started
Yeah.
up until now.
Yeah.
What is the most significant change that you've seen that you're proud of?
Oh, my man Drake, my man Kanon, you know, Cardi doing his thing too, just like artists from Toronto, taking it, just having a vision of what they want to do and taking it not just locally, but globally, you know? Big things. You got artists now winning Grammys. Big up to Melanie Fiona, you know, Drake, Grammys, like that was just a thought back in the days. Now cats are actually making that happen straight out of Toronto, so it's a blessing. And that's an inspiration to me too, to continue doing my thing.
And it's interesting you say that. You must meet these guys once in a while and they must say to you, hey, I remember X, I remember Y.
Yeah,
Anybody
yeah.
come to you with a story ever that makes you stop and say, wow, I didn't realize that I had that influence on you?
Yeah, I mean, Cardi's told me that when he was a kid, I guess I must have met him when he was 12. And he asked me, you know, what's up with the rap game? And I told him, stay in school. Stay to school, get education. So he recently told me about that too, and it's like he said that's one of the reasons he went to York. He never forgot that. So that I think it's very important to show cats, that young kids up and coming. It's not just about the music; get your education too as well. So.
It's also interesting that you diversified yourself at a time when rappers and actors really weren't synonymous with each other. But you've made a living as an actor as well.
Yeah.
Why was it so important for you to diversify yourself in that genre?
Because I'm from Canada, number one. You know how that goes. But you gotta expand, man. You can't just stick to one specific thing alone. But I'll tell you one thing: hip hop was the catalyst, the foundation for everything else I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know?
100%.
Definitely.
I'm going to take you back a little bit. I know that you have a big history with City, Electric Circus back in the day, shutting down HMV in Mississauga at Square One. I think I was there for a few of those moments, but what I want to talk to you about is when you look back at that, do you feel like all those years have passed, or does it still feel like yesterday?
That's a long time ago, man. That's a long, long time ago.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, we look at Toronto now. This wasn't here. This Toronto here, we didn't have all this. This is like that movie Blade Runner. Remember that movie with Harrison Ford? Yeah. All it's missing is the hovercrafts, right?
We can't look for it. But okay, so let's also talk about some of the earlier albums and the earlier work you did.
Yeah.
Are there any classics other than Backbone? Are there classic songs that you stop and say to yourself, "This I always have to perform"?
Oh, Drop the Needle. Drop the Needle, of course. You know, conducting things. Got to go on. You know, stick to your vision.
Yeah.
Got to go on. Like those are the joints that really, you know. I tell artists, don't make records, make history. So those are the type of songs that resonate for a long, long time. You know, and that's what I try to do with this album. Have songs on that, like certain titles, certain things were very anthemic on the new project, just to continue that you don't want to call it legacy, but continue that energy that you had from making those songs that aren't just records.
Right.
They're history. They're timeless, monumental events.
And you got some props recently when Chuck D, Public Enemy were back, because they remember how important you were at concert hall days and doing all the shows when they would come through. How great was that reunion?
Man, listen, Chuck D, that's like my mentor. How cool is that, getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and then 2 weeks later getting your doctorate, your honorary doctorate at the Delphi University? That's hip hop, man. That's my big brother right there, Chuck D. You know, so I'm glad he's on the album too. I got a little snippet of him on the album too as well. So, you know, we do it up.
Recently, Calgary's been affected with a lot of issues right now. I know that you got love for Calgary because you've been out there performing, etc. Anything you want to mention to the people?
I already have. I call all my friends and family in Calgary. You know, they're doing well. They're doing well. And keep your head up. Definitely. Respect.
And just one more thing about the Calgary thing. What are some of the things you love about the city, etc.? So we can
Toronto or Calgary?
Calgary.
Oh my goodness, Stampede was crazy. I remember one time I performed at the Calgary Stampede. I think the mayor of the Stampede actually gave me a cowboy hat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rhyming on stage doing backbones with a cowboy hat. How cool is that? You know what I mean? So I love Calgary, man, definitely. So, you know, keep your head up. You guys are, this shows perseverance for the city, man. So we commend you, and we got you, definitely.
One of the best things I love about you with Let Your Backbone Slide too is that you've never been too cool for it, right? You know, a lot of artists, they'll have one song that will make them say, I'm done with singing that, I'm so done with that. But you let your fans sing the song with you.
Well, listen, sometimes I get tired, so they can sing the lyrics. If you know the lyrics, y'all can sing the lyrics for me. It's cool. Yeah.
One of the things I noticed about the other night, the celebration,
Yes, sir.
was it was truly a family affair.
Yeah,
People coming through and giving you a lot of props and a lot of love for that.
Yeah.
Watching that progression, seeing all those people, etc. Describe that feeling.
So awesome. People came out to check me at my anniversary a couple of nights ago, and just to see, man, it's just like down memory lane. You had like my man from, different radio stations, different, networks, globally, locally, television, sports, world-class athletes, world-class models, I think one of the actors from Game of Thrones tried to get into the party too as well. It was crazy. It was love.
Actually, the CKLN Power Move used to be it's Ryerson, right?
Yeah.
It was just right around here,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Remember how important that was for
That's where I
dropping?
started, man.
Yeah.
Ron Nelson, he was there. He came. Ron was there. He came. They played B-Boy Destruction. Ron Nelson was there. DJ X came through. Oh my goodness, a lot of folks were there, man.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It was beautiful. I'm just glad, honestly, all jokes aside, people still check for me after such a long time.
Yeah.
And I commend all the artists right now doing what they're doing. So.